Hello friends, this is David, popping in really quick at the top of this episode to let you know that this episode plays with the themes of horror more so than any episode of Misconceptions that we've done so far, including featuring a brief scene with some body horror and some gore. I just want to let you know about this going into the episode. Be safe, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
On Faye's character card for her logos, we may need to put X elementary teacher now. Especially since that is officially cracked.
Yeah. Which that's been coming for a long time. I was happy to crack that.
I was going to say, you haven't done much teaching in a while.
You
haven't done much teaching since you're a wanted criminal.
No.
True.
So weird.
Hello, friends. This is Jan-Pieter, and you are listening to the Misconceptions podcast.
Her husband disappears and she stops to feel the grass. What's wrong with her? We have to find Woodard. He needs us. I need him. He's my best friend. And now who knows what they're doing to him. I doubt he'll be at this house. Hell, I don't think Linda will be either. Just more questions. Always more questions. I hope he's okay. I hope Faye's okay.
Previously on Misconceptions, the crew was looking for Linda Lockwood. And after breaking into Linda's old abandoned apartment, Mohammed and Woodard were affected by a warding spell meant to deter people that invaded her personal space. And as in the ensuing chaos of Mohammed and Woodard trying to escape the effects of the spell, Woodard stumbled and tripped and literally fell into a new spell that trapped him and sucked him away to somewhere else. And Mohammed and Faye and Esther, desperate to find their friend, their husband, their person that sits in the car with them, tore across town to the address, a new address of Linda's childhood home. But on the way, Faye felt a strange pull connected to her connection to nature, pulling her towards the park. And so she left the car to leave Mohammed and Esther to go find her husband, hopefully at Linda's childhood home, while she ran into the forest. And in the forest, she found a squadron of armed men and beast men killed in the forest. And in the middle of all of them, she found Lisa, the guardian of the forest, one time ally of Faye, then another time opponent of Faye, but now dying in a pool of her own blood. And with her dying words, Lisa thrust the responsibility of guardian of the forest onto Faye, and Faye accepted this mantle, taking the flower crown that once was on Lisa's head and putting it on her own head. And once again, Faye has a flower crown for the first time in a long time. And mechanically, Faye lost one of her Logos themes. It was replaced with a Mythos theme, and we will see what new Mythos power Faye has. We discussed it off mic. It may come into play this episode. And also, since this is Faye's second theme to replace, she had enough build-up points to gain a moment of evolution. Tessa is currently picking out that moment of evolution right now, so maybe it will come into play this episode. We don't know. But meanwhile, Mohammed and Esther tour across the town to Linda's childhood home and found this macabre candy-colored home. And they, once again, broke in, walked past the warding spell, and entered into a candy-colored house with a very sweet smell emanating from the kitchen. And in the kitchen, they found cookbooks and a 6-foot-long pan, and also some spell books. And following a trail of breadcrumbs, Mohammed and Esther found an understairs storage basement, and they found rows upon rows of gingerbread pips. And at the back of the basement was a partitioned square with vinyl plastic hanging from the ceiling to the floor. And Mohammed and Esther approached the cube of plastic, grabbed the curtain, and threw it to the side. And I think that's where this episode starts. So, Mohammed and Esther, are you prepared to see what is behind the plastic veil?
Mm-hmm. Always.
Okay, so Mohammed throws open the plastic veil, and on the other side of these plastic curtains, you see a medical bed, and you see some various medical equipment that are plugged into so many power strips that are plugged into the wall. This ramshackle medical center in this abandoned basement. But alongside the modern medicine machines, you see runes, and you see flasks of alchemical solutions with tubes running from their spouts to a person that is stretched out on the medical bed. You see, laid under a white linen sheet pulled up to their chest, you see an emaciated Pip Hamill with a breathing apparatus coming up over his shoulders and into his nose, and his eyes are closed, and there is a very faint heart monitor just slowly beeping in the background. And you see Pip laying there. He is noticeably scrawnier and with more sallowed eyes and drawn-in cheeks. His hair is not as coiffed as you remember it being. It is messy and disheveled. He has dark bags under his eyes. His skin is jaundiced. He does not look well. But as his skeletal chest rises and falls, you see that he is alive. What do you do?
Does he have a gunshot wound?
The area where Javi shot him is underneath the linen bedsheet. If you pulled it back, you could see that spot. Do you pull it back?
And he's the only thing that was behind this curtain.
Mm-hmm. And all the medical machines and the magical vials and apparatus and stuff.
I want to take a cursory look and see if there's a camera on him or something that I can see. Not I'm not wanting to do anything in depth, just peeking around.
Yeah, there is no camera.
I'm gonna lift it to see.
You lift the bedsheet up, and you see the gut of Pip Hamill, emaciated as it is, where Javi did shoot him. And you see the point of impact, and all around it you see this necrotic, dead, rotting flesh. But you see runes have been cut into his stomach, runes that match the runes that you've seen before, and they go in a circle around the wound, and the necrosis has seemed to stop at the edge of that, not spreading any further.
What do you think? Should we try to wake him up?
I mean, how would we even do that?
I don't know. Start pushing buttons?
I don't think that's a great idea. I mean, I don't understand how he's here. Clearly nobody's caring for him. Not well, anyway. I want to look at his wrist. Does he have like a hospital bracelet or anything?
No hospital bracelet. So yeah, there is no bracelet on his wrist about a hospital or anything like that. In fact, besides the runes that have been chiseled into his side to stop the necrosis of flesh, the only thing on him is like a stone collar that wraps around his neck, and you can see little pylons going from the collar. It doesn't like sit directly on his neck, it kind of sits on his collar and on his shoulders and on his chest, but coming out of the stonework are these metal pylons that seem to go directly into his larynx.
So he's got this like Frankenstein neck thing going on.
And there are runes on the collar as well.
Okay.
Naturally.
Looking at the stuff that's like connected to him, is there anything that I could identify as like painkillers or something?
Like the thing that's keeping him sedated.
Yeah, definitely. What would be something that would keep somebody in a medically induced coma?
I assume some kind of like IV.
Yeah, it'd be some form of
medication
IV.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely see an IV and like it's some.
And it's connected to a bag. Is the bag full or empty?
It's about half full or half empty, depending on how you look at it.
Esther sees it as half empty. So.
Mohammed's gonna grab the tube near the bag and kind of bend it and like close it off.
Esther?
Esther's gonna watch to see what happens.
Let's see. Do I want him to wake up? Yeah, let's say he does. Let's say he, like, you wait for a few moments and he starts to stir a little, and then he starts to grimace and squirm uncomfortably, and you hear him moan and start to whine feverishly, and then suddenly the pain takes full hold of him and he starts to thrash. He screams. The wires and vials that are connected to him pull taut, and one flask falls on the ground, shattering, its milky green contents scattering on the ground with the glass. His back arches and he lets out a scream of pain, and you see the runes on his collar light up with his voice. And this is interesting. I think actually you haven't heard him make any noise, and so when he screams, his mouth opens in this horrendous ear-rending screech, but you don't hear it, and the collar around his neck lights up brightly as he is silently screaming. What are y'all doing? He is thrashing around, making noise. That flask fell to the ground and shattered.
Mohammed's gonna release the tube.
Okay.
And he's gonna like lean down over him so that if he opens his eyes, he'll see him.
Okay. Esther, what are you doing?
Esther's still standing like at his side, just like watching and kind of prepared to like, I don't know, if he tries to like get up or something, like she would keep him from like I don't know, I guess restraining him if she needed to.
Okay.
Kind of thing, for his own protection more than anything, because obviously he's not a real threat at this point. Like, he's messed up. But, like, I don't want to mess him up more, because it's pretty bad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I think as the coma-inducing drug starts to filter back into his veins, his writhing stops, his back falls against the bed, and he starts to breathe regularly again, and his eyes kind of flutter open, and he sees you, Mohammed, looming over him. Do you have the bear mask on, or have you...
No, not while we've been in here.
Okay. So he sees you, and you see his lips moving feverishly. You can't really tell if he's saying words or babbling, but as his lips move, again, the runes on that collar around his neck light up. More faintly this time, not as bright as they were.
Okay. Does the collar look like it has any kind of clasp or anything like that?
Yeah, let's say while he was writhing and throwing himself around, you were able to see the back of the collar at the nape of his neck, and you do see a seam in the stone there.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get this collar off him. I think it's preventing him from talking.
You don't think it's gonna make him bleed out?
I mean, at this point, do we care? He might be the only way to get answers.
Esther just shrugs.
Alright. So Mohammed's gonna put his left hand over Pip's mouth, looking him right in the eyes, and reach around to the back and try to figure out how to pull that thing off.
Yeah. And very easily, with your strong, deft hands, you unclasp it, and you pull it apart. And as you pull it apart, those pylons that are going into his larynx slide out with a sickening squelch. And Mohammed, I think you feel some blood splatter across the palm of your hand as you were holding it against his mouth. But you remove the collar.
Okay.
Does he talk now?
Does Mohammed move his hand?
I will slowly pull my hand away a little bit.
Mohammed, as a lawyer, a fellow lawyer, because Pip was also legal counsel and rose through the ranks to be a DA. Have your paths ever crossed before, and if so, in what ways?
So I think that Pip Hamill, before becoming DA, worked for like one of those, I don't know, commercialized lawyer firms, the higher end ones.
Yeah.
I think at some point they had been like opposing counsel in some big like Pip Hamill was representing a business, and Woodard and Mohammed were representing the employees or something like that.
Yeah, the people that had been wrongly affected by their greed.
Sure.
Okay, definitely. So as you pull your hand away, and like you maybe wipe the blood off on his linen sheets or something, his eyes are swimming around in his head as he is fighting for some sort of consciousness, but also wanting to go back to sleep to escape the pain. You hear him stammering, "Good hand. Counsel, good hand. Approach the bench. Counsel, good hand. Counsel, good hand."
What did they do to you?
Counsel, good hand. Question, speak truthfully. Swear, sword, tell the truth. No, not the truth. They are the children. The children there. My voice.
What? The children? Where are they? Where are the children?
Away.
Oh, wait, where?
It's conjecture at this time, Your Honor. Your Honor.
So you don't know. Linda. Where's Linda?
His eyes open up wide, and you see bloodshot eyes looking at you. He says, "Here." And then his eyes slowly drift shut, and his head falls to the side.
Mohammed's he snaps his head up and looks at Esther.
Esther immediately turns around like she's expecting Linda to like be behind them or whatever.
Yeah. You see nothing but the rows upon rows of gingerbread Pip Hamels.
Which is not comforting at all
Nope.
to Esther.
Not at all, because somebody could definitely be standing in those rows that isn't a gingerbread Pip. But you see nothing in there but that and you three. And then the light cascading from the kitchen down into the basement across the wooden steps.
I have very bad feelings about this.
Yeah, we need to go. He's gonna push out and start pushing his way through the Pip Hamill gingerbread men towards the stairs back up.
Esther's following behind and she's like very jumpy, like...
Yeah. Mohammed's like shoving these things out of his way at this point.
Esther's just like swinging her, like she's got her gun out, like she is like...
Yeah. And Mohammed, like, as you shove one forward, it does not teeter over like a mannequin might, but like its feet stumble and catch itself as it balances. It just stands a couple of feet away from where you pushed it.
I don't like it.
And you rush up the stairs, and Esther, you hear a movement behind you, and you swivel, gun raised. But all you can see is a sea of Pip Hamels staring at you.
Esther sprints.
Okay, you sprint up the stairs. You enter back
I
into
thought sure
that.
you were going to have one grab me and I was going to be real mad.
I know.
You run back into the kitchen. It is as you've left it. The baking sheet there, the pots on the stove, the alchemical books and cookbooks lining the shelves.
I still think we need to see if there's a chest here.
He said she's here. Where?
I don't know. Would have thought she would have come out by now. Esther's gonna like move everything back into place.
Okay, so you scoot the
Close it and all of the things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What is it called? You scoot the deep freezer back over the wooden stairs that were leading down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess look around. I'm gonna stay here in case she shows herself.
Esther's gonna go, I guess, back towards the entrance hall to like see if there's like go to another room, basically.
Sure. You step back into that hallway that goes from the front door to the back door. The closet door that Mohammed investigated is down at one end, and then you have a room to your left and then a room to your right.
Esther's gonna go to the room to the right.
Okay. You step to the room to your right, and you twist the knob, and it creaks open. And as you enter in, you see a set of bunk beds. Child-sized, pushed to the corner. You see some posters and different things, and obviously one side of the room is the boys' side of the room, one side of the room is the girls' side of the room. And you see all these like kid things. A baseball glove, a Barbie set, a rock polisher, one of the little like investigative journaling for kids that you would get at a book fair, sprawled across one desk. But probably the most notable thing in this room is the occupied wheelchair in the middle of the room.
Shit.
And you see a man, a little older than Esther. And he has a crocheted blanket pulled up over his legs, and he's just staring vacantly at a TV in the room, and he does not move or register your approach.
What is he watching on the TV?
Right now it's static.
I take a cursory look around the room. Is there a chest in there?
Sure.
Where is the chest at in relation to where he's at?
You have to pass by him.
Esther's gonna back out of the room.
Okay.
She's gonna push the door open to the left.
Okay, you push the door open to the left, and you see it's another bedroom, but this one does not have bunk beds. It has a large queen-size mattress, 4-post bed. It has pink lacy sheets, and you see an old vanity cabinet lined with little tincture and perfume bottles, and a little sliding door that leads into a master bathroom. But it is unoccupied. And I think as you open it, you know that smell of old, dust? You smell the dust in this room before you even see it. And I think as the door drags across the shag carpet, you see the dust particles up at your feet. This room has not been entered in years.
Is there any chest in this room?
No.
Okay. I go back to the kitchen.
Okay, you go to the kitchen. Mohammed, what have you been doing?
He's just sitting on a stool, staring at the deep freeze. He's just thinking. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. So Mohammed, you're just staring at this deep freezer.
Yeah.
And I think you're staring at it so intently, waiting for it to move, that I think your subconscious sees it move, and you tense for a second, and your eyes snap back into focus, and you realize that it was just your mind playing tricks on you. It has not moved, and it is still stationary where it was. But I think at that point, Esther walks back into the kitchen.
Yeah, so she walks through the door. Mohammed just kind of starts. Anything?
There's a guy in a wheelchair in a room down there, but other than that, I didn't find anything.
Wait. What? Do you think it's the brother?
I only saw him from behind.
You didn't even check?
Nope.
Mohammed's gonna stand up and walk towards that room.
Okay. You walk into that room and you see the same scene that I described to Esther.
Yeah, he's gonna walk up behind the wheelchair and walk around it, probably about 3 feet away from it, just kind of tentatively looking around it.
And you see this man that's just a few years older than Esther, and he is just kind of leaned forward and just sagged in his wheelchair, just staring at this TV. And despite the aging and the wear and the slackness of his face, you recognize this for the boy that was in the pictures with a younger Linda. This is Linda's older brother.
And you said he's leaned forward?
Yeah, just he's not leaned forward avidly waiting for something or anything like that. He's just kind of slumped in his chair.
Oh, okay.
He has a very vacant look in his eyes.
Can I tell if he's breathing?
He is breathing. Very shallow, even breaths.
Mohammed crouches down to get eye level. Kind of puts his face up underneath so that he can see. Are you Logan?
The man does not respond.
Kind of wave my hand in front of his face.
Yeah, his eyes blink, but not as like a reflex, as just like a steady blink every, few seconds.
I'm gonna grab the handles of the wheelchair and roll him out into the kitchen.
Okay. Mohammed wheels Logan into the kitchen.
Esther jumps one thing.
Yeah.
The fuck, man.
Yeah, so, he's alive.
And you decided to bring him with you?
I mean, I'm not just gonna leave him there. He can't take care of himself.
I mean, he was fine there.
If anything, I'll take him to a hospital.
I mean, I guess you can go to a hospital. I can't go to a hospital, but...
Yeah, that's true. Also, and he kind of raises his voice at this point, if Linda's here, maybe she'll care if we have her brother.
And I think you wait.
Esther with her gun ready.
Yeah. You hear nothing.
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 87 of Misconceptions. I'm your host, David White, and I'm looking at my calendar, everyone, and my calendar definitely says July. It doesn't say October, but then why is it so spooky in here? Spooky laugh. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the spookiest episode of Misconceptions ever. I hope that you're having fun listening to this episode. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of fun creeping out my friends with this episode. And I hope that you're getting those little spooky tingles as well. But hey, let's go ahead and get to some housekeeping stuff before we get back to this episode. Do not forget, we are getting closer and closer to the end of Misconceptions. Not the end of our podcast, but definitely the end of this story. And at the end of the story, we are going to record a Geek Out After the Series, where I sit down with the players, talk about moments from the show, talk about questions they have, but also talk about questions that you have. So if you have any burning questions, please send them to us at misconceptionspod@gmail.com, or you can go to our Discord and you can post your burning questions in the Burning Questions channel. And everyone, if you are not following City of Mist on their socials, you definitely should be, because they just announced their newest RPG. So Son of Oak Studios, the talented people, the wonderful people that brought you City of Mist, are bringing you an all-new RPG titled Queers. And yes, that is Queers spelt with a Z at the end, so maybe it should be Queers. But Queers uses the fantastic City of Mist game mechanics and character progression and uses it to tell a story about the queer community battling villains that embody ignorance and bigotry. And it has this, Sentai / Power Rangers superheroes theme. It's super colorful, has a lot of queer themes, but it's not just for queer people. It is an RPG about acceptance and inclusivity and finding a way to embrace others despite our ingrained conditioning, but you can play this no matter what your sexual orientation is, and I love the people at Son of Oak. They have made a great game. They have been very supportive of Misconceptions, and that means I am always going to be supportive of the products that they make. So if Queers sounds like something you would like to check out, definitely go to the City of Mist Facebook or Twitter and click the link to learn more about this RPG, because I'm sure it is going to be a blast. And I would like to give a patron shout out, not to a new patron, but to a patron that recently upped their pledge, Jean-Peter Beats. Thank you so much for upping your pledge and supporting us even more than you already were. You definitely didn't need to, and we are certainly appreciative of that. Thank you to all of our patrons who support us now and in the future and have supported us in the past. You make it able for us to make this show as good as it is. And two more things before I go. First one, we need 2 more intro spots for the last couple of episodes of Misconceptions. If you would like to introduce the last few episodes of Misconceptions, record yourself saying, "Hello, my name is blank, and you are listening to the City of Mist. You are listening to the Misconceptions podcast." Send that to us at misconceptionspod@gmail.com. And you'll be able to introduce one of these last couple of episodes of Misconceptions. And the last thing I'll say before we get back to the episode, there is a geek out during the credits at the end of this episode, so make sure you stick around after that to hear us discuss character progression and just our thoughts and feelings about these last couple of episodes. Alright, that's enough out of me. Let's get back to spooky times.
That would explain why Linda's paying the bills here.
Yeah, but does she take care of him? Does she pay someone to take care of him?
Can Esther do... Well, I'll just say it and we'll go from there. A flashback to when she's looking over the papers in the car, and are there, like... Is it just like electricity and water bills, or is it like, there's a company that or there's a person that she's paying hourly or something like that?
Like a caretaking service?
Right.
No, there are no caretaking services. Or there was no caretaking services in the stack of papers.
So is it just like traditional bills, like house bills and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there wasn't anything in the bills for her paying anybody to care for him. At least not in the ones that you brought.
She's gotta be here. Or if she's not, she's gotta be coming back.
There's gotta be a way to draw her out. Can't just stay here forever. The longer we wait, the longer Woodard is wherever he is.
Yeah. Gotta find him.
What if we wheel Logan out of the house?
I mean, it's worth a shot.
We wheel him out the front door?
Sure.
Okay.
We're about to piss somebody the fuck off.
You start pushing Logan towards the front door. And as you get to the door, the runes on the door light up. And they match runes on the wheels of Logan's wheelchair, and Logan's wheelchair stops. And Mohammed, I assume you're pushing it, and like you try to push it a little further, it will not budge another inch.
Okay. Well, that's not moving. I mean, I could try to carry him out.
Actually, at this moment, you hear a clap of thunder. And down at the other end of the hallway, the air splits open. And you see a portal appear at the back door. And stepping through it, you see a figure clad in a robe, different pouches along their waist, a staff in their hand, and a demon mask on their head. And behind them, you see another figure step out in paramilitary uniform with a wolf mask over their face. And the portal closes. And you hear Linda say, "Step away from him."
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Esther has her gun raised.
Linda turns her head ever so slightly to the wolf and she says, "Kill them." And the wolf rushes.
Esther shoots.
All right. Why don't you roll?
I'm gonna use my react before it happens.
You definitely can.
Heck yeah.
And I guess my rusted, trusted Colt Cobra if I...
Yeah, definitely. What do you think? Is this, are you struggling for control or are you trying to hit someone at full power?
I think I'm trying to hit him at full power and defense so he doesn't kill us.
Okay. So roll a hit with all you've got. And I will now reveal that when the wolf enters a scene, he gains 2 quick 3. So subtract 3 from your roll.
Dang.
So -1.
-1.
Good.
What's your roll?
A 4.
A 4. Okay, so you fire and the wolf ducks out of the way, and you see Linda behind him wave her staff, and a portal opens up on the wall to his right, and he jumps through it, and then a portal opens up to your left, Esther, as the wolf jumps out and slashes at you. Roll a face danger against a /3 status.
I guess I don't have anything to add to that.
Oh yeah, because you don't have your Aegis armor, and you used your react before it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I was gonna die. A 9.
A 9? Okay. So you take a /2 status. Add that to I don't know, bodily wounded status. Step it up by 2 ticks.
4.
You're 2 of 4 now? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so he jumps out and slashes across you with his long sword. Mohammed, what are you doing? The wolf is right behind you attacking Esther, and at the other end of the house, Linda is standing there menacingly.
Yeah, Muhammad's gonna put his massive hand, on Logan's shoulder, like thumb right behind the neck, and like his hand is basically on Logan's neck but shoulder. Call off your dog, Linda. You don't have to do this here.
She raises her staff and points it at you. Step away from him.
He moves his hand a little bit further onto Logan's neck. You may not know me, but it wouldn't take me much. This is a massive bluff. He would never.
She says, I pieced him together once. I can do it again. Can you say the same for your friends of you?
You got some real problems there. He's gonna shove the wheelchair forward towards her, just like send it rolling, and then turn around and try to grab the wolf man.
Okay. Are you gonna go toe to toe or hit with all you've got? Are you struggling for control or trying to hit him with all your power?
I think I'm gonna go toe to toe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can you add?
I can add bear hug and athletic, maybe.
Okay. So +2.
Yeah.
And take a -3 because of his 2 quick status.
Got it. Net -1. Come on. Okay. 9.
A 9? Okay, so you get to choose one. Do you achieve your goal? Do you give him a status? Or do you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts?
I'm gonna achieve my goal. So what I'm going to do is, as I shove Logan forward, I'm going to turn around, grab the wolf, and like try to throw him backwards away from Esther.
Okay, so you're gonna push him away from Esther. Are you gonna?
Yeah, like I push Logan at her, turn around, grab the wolf, and pull him off of her.
Okay. So I guess there's a couple of places you could send the wolf. Do you send him into the living room? Do you send him out into the front lawn? Or do you throw him down the hallway towards Linda and Logan?
Let's separate him. I'm gonna throw him into the living room.
Okay. So you describe for us how this looks.
So yeah, he's standing there with his hand on Logan's shoulder. Linda's just not having it, so he sighs. He kind of pushes with his foot Logan, who rolls forward, the wheelchair kind of skittering a little bit. Mm-hmm. Mohammed turns around, grabs the wolfman by the shoulder with one hand, and tosses him across the hallway into the living room.
Yeah, and I think he lands on like the coffee table and smashes it to bits and like tumbles across the room. And we cut to Logan like careening down the hallway, and we see Linda like raise her hand and trace some spell in the air, and the wheelchair corrects itself and glides toward her, and she grabs the handles and leans down. She tears off the mask and throws it to the side, and she grabs her brother's face with both hands and she says, Logan, are you okay? Did they hurt you? And we cut back to the living room as the wolf rolls across the ground and comes up with a gun aimed at Mohammed. Mohammed, roll a face danger against a gunshot 3 status.
Yep, that's going to be a flat roll because I've got nothing left. It's a 7.
Okay, so you take a gunshot 2 status. And so his bullets just graze you and agitating that wound from earlier that Faye had taped up. Esther, what are you doing?
She's gonna try to stand up and like come back to, you know what I mean? Because she got that knocked her for a loop, so she's trying to just like regain her whatever to be able to stand and like figure out what's going on.
Yeah. So the wolf is in the living room with gun and sword drawn, laying in what was once the timbers of a coffee table, and Linda is down at the other end of the hallway talking to Logan, but he is not responding to her.
And the wolf isn't like knocked out. He's still...
No,
he just shot me.
Yeah, he's still good.
I'm going to shoot at him.
Okay.
I guess I don't have anything to add. Is it still a -3?
Still -3. Hit with all you've got. You could burn for a hit and
I have to do that before I roll.
Yes. You could burn for a hit and burn that tag to automatically succeed, as if you had rolled a 10 with 3+. That is an option you have.
I'm not going to do that yet.
Okay. So -2.
Should be -3, so it's a 6.
But you add your rusted trusted cold
cobra. But I
cobra.
already used that, so I didn't figure it.
You can use it again. So -2. So what'd you roll?
A 7.
A 7. Okay. So on a hit with all you've got, on a 7, you automatically hit him with tier equal to power. So you're hitting him with a tier 1 status, but he has body armor, and it reduces it by 1. So right now you're hitting him with a 0 status, but you get to choose. You take cover or secure a superior position. If you don't choose this, they can inflict a status on you. You get them good or get many of them. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention, or you gain the upper hand and take 1 juice.
I want to do was it take cover? What is it?
Yeah, take cover or secure a superior position.
Yeah, because I have to do that in order to not get...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't do that, he gets to do something to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that one, I guess.
Okay, so you pop off a couple of shots. They bounce off his armor, ineffective. And then how do you get out of the way?
There's like a doorway entrance that I was shooting into, and so I'm going to like get back behind the wall or whatever.
Okay, so you...
Back into the hallway.
Yeah, you roll into the hallway out of his view as like some of his bullets like thud into the wall behind you.
And I'm gonna also I'm rolling back behind that wall and like getting down.
Okay. Mohammed, what are you doing?
As I see Esther shoot at him, I'm gonna turn around or just like lean my head back. Get Linda! And then I'm gonna charge him, manifesting my sign in the on the way, and just wallop him across the face.
Okay. Sounds like a hit with all you've got.
It is, and I'm going to burn wallop to make sure I hit him.
Ooh, okay. So you hit, and you're automatically going to hit him with a tier 3 status, but his body armor steps it down by 1, so he has a tier 2 status. And since you burned for a hit, you get to choose 2 of these. You take cover or secure a superior position. You get them good. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention, or you gain the upper hand and take 1 juice. And you can use juice just like you would in Change the Game, and you can use juice to step down statuses or step up statuses they have, or to burn a power tag or story tag. And like his gun, his body armor, his 2 quick status, those are tags and story tag or statuses that can be affected with juice.
Okay. Is the body armor a power tag or a?
It would be a story tag, so you could use your juice to burn the body armor.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I'm going to secure a superior position, and I'm going to gain the upper hand to take a juice and burn his body armor.
Okay, so describe for me what does this look like, and how do you burn the body armor?
Yeah, so I am running forward. I brandish my street sign. I swing it up at him, sign edge towards him. And as it comes up, the street sign itself wedges underneath one of the straps of his armor and just cuts through the strap up over his shoulder. And it just kind of flops off over that side.
I like it. Yeah, and like your hit sends him careening into one of the bookshelves, and he crashes against it, like sending books and picture frames shattered to the ground. He looks at you and like lays his longsword across his arm, and like kind of pulls it back and is like pacing around, like prowling around you, looking for a space to strike.
Yeah.
Esther, back in the hallway.
I'm just trying to figure out, because I feel like we need answers from Linda, so I can't shoot at her.
I mean, you can't
She's also
kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she also has her brother in front of her, right? Like, I'm gonna start walking towards Linda, and I'm gonna have my gun up. Look, I don't want to hurt you, but I want answers.
She stands up and like pulls Logan's wheelchair to be behind her, and she steps in front of him and in between you and him. And she has her staff held out, magic, arcane energy swirling around the tip of it. And she says, "You're supposed to be dead. How are you still alive?"
I'm the one asking the questions here. Where is Woodard?
She's not gonna listen to you.
Oh, that's helpful. Don't ask me a question if you're not gonna listen.
I think she has his arcane blast ready to go, and she's gonna hit you with it.
Cool. That's helpful.
But I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, I asked her a question.
She's not gonna answer.
Yeah, and so her response to my question is that she hits me.
Okay. Roll a face danger against a Searing Blast 3 status.
I mean, I don't have anything to add. The 6.
6. Okay. And so, Esther, I think this blast hits you full force in the chest and lifts you off the ground, pushing you through the open door into the front lawn. And you, like, tumble a few feet and come to rest on the roots of a tree, like your chest smoking from the impact. There's a clap of thunder, and in front of the door, a portal appears and Linda steps through it, and she is hovering across the ground. And she says, "You people keep getting in the way. All of this would be finished already if you just died." And she goes to blast you again, but at that moment...
So as Linda is floating in the air, you suddenly see a tree open up as if a door has been opened, and Faye steps out with a flower crown on her head, shoulders tall, looks to the side to a hurt Esther, and then looks back at Linda. "Hi, Linda. How are you? Where's my husband?"
End of episode.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Misconceptions. We'll be back with our next episode on July 19th. If you have a Facebook and or a Twitter, you can find us on both of those social media platforms to get up-to-date information about the show and behind-the-scenes pictures. We also have an email, misconceptionspod@gmail.com, if you would like to contact us that way. We also have a Discord where you can chat with us directly and also chat with friends of the show directly. Click the link below to join our Discord. This show is fully supported by the generous monthly donations of our patrons on Patreon. If you would like to join that elite group of backers, please click the link below and support us at any amount that you can. The City of Mist RPG system was created by Son of Oak. You can find more of their products at sonofoak.com. And don't forget to check out their new RPG, Queers. The Misconceptions theme song was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. Misconceptions is a product of the Misconceptions Podcast Network. And that's it for this week's episode, everybody. Keep it honest, keep it real, and also keep it nerdy, y'all.
Let's do a geek out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Those episodes, though.
Those were some solid episodes.
Those were some good episodes right there, fellas. I don't care who you are. But yeah, let's get some reactions. How do y'all feel about this recording session? These past 3 episodes.
I want to know how Esther feels about me hitting her with the door of the tree.
I mean, she didn't feel it, so.
She's in too much pain to feel more pain.
It's just, oh, look. More pain. Who could tell?
Esther's just tired of not getting answers.
Honestly.
Faye and Tessa experienced great anxiety in these last 3 episodes.
What do you have to be anxious about?
Just
everything's fine.
A lot of life-changing decisions.
Woodard, in-game, Lisa. Lots, all the above.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I don't even know how to process Faye being a guardian of the garden now.
Yeah.
Honestly, though.
Yeah, I don't know, like it's cool how the story is influenced by the mechanics sometime. Like that's how season 1 ended, right? With the mechanics of Jeremiah coming to get you, and then like it spiraling into this final showdown at the Golden Flamingo Casino. And like I didn't intend for Woodard to go missing, but that's what the role did, and so it put Tessa in a very unique position where she got to roleplay Woodard being gone and also having to like deal with her nature calling.
Horrible timing.
Perfect time.
Well, yes, but
It was a very hard decision. I think for Faye, all that kept going through her brain, though, is that if she didn't address what was going on, then she wouldn't be able to bring Woodard back. Like, they were so closely tied together for her that it felt less of a choice of, like, choosing nature over Woodard and more of a choice of, like, preventing something worse from happening so that she could get to him.
Yeah.
But that still did not make it easy. Though I aspire to have Lisa's skills one day to take down that entire army.
honestly,
We always knew Lisa was powerful.
And very rude.
yeah.
She was ambivalent, just like nature. Sometimes the sun shines, but sometimes it's cold AF.
I just want to say that I was here for the beginning of Lisa and the end of her. And it makes me happy.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my first episode. When
Yeah.
I played Mohammed that first time.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Look at this story. I don't know if we're telling the story or the story is taking us on an adventure.
The
It's
storytelling.
definitely the second one.
And Pip. Y'all found Pip.
Yes. And
Yeah, we did. He dead now.
I fully. Well, he didn't. He's not dead yet.
Oh, okay. I interpreted that way. Sorry.
Yeah. I realized that the way I narrated it, he like fell to the side or whatever.
I thought he just went back into his coma.
He did.
Oh, okay. I thought he died because he just went limp, basically.
Yeah. No, I totally, had that kind of scene planned out, but I totally thought Faye would be there.
Yeah.
Present for that scene, but roles happened and she was pulled in a different direction, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
But yeah, I had, when I envisioned these scenes, I totally envisioned Faye there. And her reacting to the withered near corpse of Pip Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that this past episode especially got so horror-y and body horror-y.
I have a minor fear of mannequins, so the whole Pip Hamill clone thing, don't like it.
Do you really? Oh, I'm sorry.
Very minor. It's fine. It was just like, oof.
We should have done lines and veils before this episode.
Oh no, it's not a line. It's not a line for me at all. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, that episode definitely went, I don't know. Linda and Logan's story is pretty dark.
Yeah. They had a pretty rough growing up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Little Miss Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, have you guessed Linda and Logan's mythos?
It's kind of obvious after this episode.
Yeah, the crumbs.
Yeah. Linda is a rift of Gretel.
It's cool.
I thought
like it.
sure she was Hansel.
Hey, let's flip gender roles. Why not?
The other super fascinating thing, and I can't remember if we discussed this on mic or before we started recording, but we were all wondering or I was wondering, like if we needed to destroy the mist or protect the mist.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And now we know we need to protect it.
Yes, yeah.
So that was very helpful. Lisa coming in clutch with her death words.
Death words.
It's 1:50 a.m.
It is very late. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff happened. Faye becoming the new guardian, getting a new power, creepy gingerbread stuff, y'all finding Pip, a climatic encounter with the wizard and the wolf, which will continue next episode.
It's going to be real good, too.
Yeah.
And Woodard.
And Woodard.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
So much suspense.
Yes, very suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
Will we find Woodard? Will we defeat Linda? Is this the final time to find Linda? Will Mohammed burn all of his tags?
Hey, man, it helps you out in that instance.
I feel like I had to, because otherwise I probably wasn't going to hit him.
Yeah, that too quick status is
It's
rough.
Yeah.
But if y'all can find out some way to immobilize him and strip him of his quickness, then that will make the fight a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Change the game is a very versatile move. All right. Well, are we ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So here are the questions. How has the crew grown this session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character, good or bad? Which one of your themes is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? And our custom question, which two of your were two of your themes pitted against each other? And if so, which two and which did you neglect? But yeah, let's go around the table.
Esther will go first and answer the question, which player had the most impact on her, and it would be Mohammed, and she's going to give him a help point.
Okay.
Nice.
So a positive interaction with Mohammed. So go ahead and take a help point on Mohammed.
Yeah, this last episode was a pretty good Mohammed Esther episode.
Yeah, it was only a Mohammed Esther episode.
Yeah, for sure.
It was very good.
I didn't mean to sideline Tessa for that whole time, but
we were like an hour, and I was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for Tessa."
No, don't feel bad. It was great. Trust me, y'all know me. I would have interrupted if I was like, "Okay, I want to be a part of it now."
Yeah,
I'm bored. Get a cool climactic end of episode entrance, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. No, y'all.
Yeah, it's not very often we get to have a cool player end of episode entrance.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. Don't feel bad at all. Y'all were killing it. Y'all are a great team. Minus you bringing the half dead body out to Esther in the kitchen.
Okay, that was hilarious.
Tessa, Christian, which question do you want to answer?
I will do how the crew has grown. And give us... I don't know if we have any burnt tags right now.
We do not have any burnt tags.
Okay, well, I will give us attention, which I think is the last one, which means we have to choose something.
I have one attention mark.
Yay! Okay, I will just get... so excited that we don't have 3. But yes, so I will say the crew, the new crew, for lack of a better word, has grown greatly these last 3 episodes. And I think that was shown really in the, like, Faye and Esther staying in the car, because how often do Faye and Esther stay in the car during a potential thing and, like, communicating? And then just the trust that we all had with each other throughout the episodes, and them letting me go and, like, follow my gut into the forest. And
yeah. and then Faye arriving to hopefully save the day.
We'll see. She's not great at combat, so... But maybe she can heal Esther some.
Eat this panacea mushroom. It'll make you feel better.
Oh, man. So I'm actually... Mohammed is going to add a hurt point on Faye.
Ooh.
That's fair. That's valid.
He's a little confused and mad that she would go on a side journey when we're searching for Woodard. I think he'll understand eventually, but right now it's more like, my friend is missing, your husband, and you're gonna go off and do something else?
There's nothing like that best guy friend protection.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am shocked that Faye did not give Esther a hurt point for not letting her run into the apartment.
Oh yeah.
I definitely considered it, but mechanically, I already have 4 hurt points on Esther. And I just don't really need another.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I forget, what do you use hurt points for? I get help points, but...
Well, hurt points are you need to hinder your friend because sometimes your friend doesn't make choices that are good for them.
Gotcha.
And so you would use those hurt points to hinder them.
Gotcha.
Like Esther could have used hurt points to keep me from going in, but her rolls were great.
Definitely. Well, thank you all for staying up till 2 a.m. in the morning to record these episodes. Thank you for your sacrifice of time, and I think these were really great, and I had lots of fun. And I'll see y'all next time, and listeners, I'll see you next time as well. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.